We'll just give people a minute to tune in case anyone wants to watch it live. So technically, we're live now. Hello, everyone.
Yeah. Yo,
you're there. Up? But we'll get started in a second. If we were fancier than this, we would have one of those things that it's like, hey, this show's starting in,
I know, right?
A minute, or whatever.
Can we be fancy like that? It's not in the budget.
Right. All right. Well, welcome to UNRATED, the internet's fiercest, strongest, wildest podcast with a power of over 9,000.
9K.
At some point, we gotta train to go past 9,000. Well, I guess we're over 9,000 already, but I'm saying, hit that next. I don't know.
The next marker, the next plateau.
Next plateau. Over 20,000. I've been watching like Dragon Ball Z, like the old episodes.
Oh, the good ones.
I've been mostly watching it to pay attention to Vegeta, because I just like him a lot. And he's such a cool character.
Vegeta is awesome.
Anyway, I am your host, Q. Ever since we joined PSVG, man, I feel like I don't care anymore. I'm just kidding. That's not true. I'm just more relaxed. Well, because we're live on YouTube now, it's like, well, I mean, we're gonna mess up anyway. There's no editing. You can't edit the live feed. So, I'm your host, Q, and broadcasting all the way from the East Coast, and broadcasting all the way across the country. We have Devin. What's up, buddy?
West, what's good? I'm chilling. It's cold.
What? It's cold on the West Coast?
For the West Coast, yes. Up here at Bakersfield, it's not warm.
So okay, locate me a little bit. Where is Bakersfield in California? Like if I don't know where California, like, I mean, I don't know anything outside of the big towns, the big cities.
All right, so for Bakersfield, it's in between like San Francisco and like LA. It's kind of getting into that middle area. It's like where SoCal starts to become NorCal, basically.
Gotcha.
Or the Bay Area, not really NorCal. They call it NorCal, but it's just the Bay because California is long. So
it is. It's like, yeah. I'm trying to think how far. If it was the equivalent of the East Coast, I'm trying to think how far north it goes. I don't remember.
Oh man, like way up.
So anyway, we have a lot to talk about tonight.
Yeah.
We're not really organized. I mean, we're just gonna go with it. But I mean, I think the topic can lead in many different directions.
That it can.
And I think that the title to tonight's episode is Hopes and Dreams, because last week, 2 episodes ago, we talked about Battlefront. That was kind of sad. It was a sad episode, because I think something that I want people to get is I don't want Battlefront. I don't want video games to be bad, right? Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing. Like I don't want video games to be bad, and yet we've had a year of really good video games, and also just kind of just not great. I don't know.
Yeah, we definitely had some that have just really been poop. We're not what they were supposed to be. Like this, they just shit the bed basically. We
had some decent highs, and also some good highs, and then some just like Battlefront was supposed to be a crowning achievement of DICE's approach to Star Wars. Like 2 years ago, we saw Battlefront as this incredible, beautiful. It was beautiful, like graphically, it was a beautiful game. But we saw it as incomplete. There is no campaign. There's no story. I mean, it was a great multiplayer, but it just felt like kind of like a skeleton of a game.
Yep, it looked, it felt, it sounded like Star Wars. Like it hit on all of those notes, but yeah, it just felt like it was hollow, like it was missing something. And then we got what we thought we were missing in Battlefront 2, but even that it still felt incomplete.
So Battlefront 2 was supposed to be like, and then on top of that, the high praise that DICE got, not DICE, but just in general, they got from Battlefield 1. That game has really good praise and reviews, and it was mechanically effective. And the campaign was a little bit anecdotal, but still, it was a good game. And it just felt like I don't know. Like this was supposed to be this was supposed to be a victory lap.
Yeah.
You know. And by the way, for those in the chat, yeah, no hat tonight. Just not feeling it. I need a haircut anyway. My hair's getting kind of long, and it gets sweaty underneath the hat after an hour of recording.
I can attest to that.
Yeah, and so anyway, looping back around, I feel like the last couple episodes were kind of sad because we're talking about Battlefront. We're talking about all these publishers maybe not coming through on promises or expectations. But this is the episode where we dare to dream, Devin. We dare. We're gonna dream unrated, and that could be awful. Actually, let's not go there.
Yeah, we don't do that.
I don't.
This is a family show.
Yeah,
kind of.
This is a family show. Yeah, I think we just got kicked out of PSVG right there. I'm gonna get an email from Steph and copying Donnie and Kevin saying, "Yeah, you guys just lost half of our audience." You know?
Yeah, turn in your badges.
People just unsubscribe. Yeah. No, but like today, I think we're gonna check in. But I think that the main topic of today, and if you're in the chat, feel free to jump in. What are your gaming wishes for 2018?
Yeah.
And feel free to dare and dream. Like we're not. Feel free to take leap off that cliff, and we're not even taking into account how many rocks are at the bottom of that cliff. How nasty is that fall gonna be? Today we're gonna take off. We're gonna leap into the horizon. We're gonna be like, man, what would make 2018 the best year in gaming news, in games being published, and releases, and DLC? What would make next year awesome?
Yeah.
Like I said, 2017 has had really great highs and some low lows, but what could make 2018 just incredible for gaming? But before we get there, what have you been up to, man? What have you been playing?
All right, so I've been playing that Assassin's Creed Origins.
All right.
God, I dove into that pretty tough this weekend. Really, really liking where it's going. Loving the crafting mechanic, the fact that there's a lot of gear to chase, the actual leveling is going to have me doing side quests forever, just to get that level up. So really, really enjoying that. Other than that, I played a little bit of Destiny 2 just to get prepped for tomorrow's release of Curse of Osiris.
You brought up that game.
I mean, it's my crack. I'm gonna keep going back. You know, I mean,
I checked myself into rehab, dude. They got me like tied down with chains, man.
Yeah, I mean, I paid for all the DLC, so I've got it coming. So it's like I gotta play it. Plus, you know, my clan is still really active. Like they are always trying to raid. I'm like, we have done this raid enough. There is nothing left to gain. Stop it. We can play other things until Osiris comes out. So yeah. I mean, we're already playing. Like I actually have my raid team. We're actually all going to PSX 2 this weekend. So
really,
yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. We're pretty excited about Curse of Osiris. So yeah, we're all kind of getting prepped for that. And other than that, just playing AC Origins and really, really digging that game. What about you, man? What you been up to?
I've been playing a lot of Rainbow Six Siege this week, but like an unhealthy amount of it. Like normally we get going around like 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock. You know, we play for a few hours. Last night we got started around 6.
Ooh.
And we ended earlier. We ended around midnight, but I was like, oh crap, like yeah, that was 6 hours. We dominated though. We're killing it, man. We're at the point where we know we're good. Like that's the thing. Like we are the people that I play Rainbow Six Siege with. Like what keeps bringing us back to that game. And so if you tried it and you were like, well, all there is to this game is the competitive side and that's it. What keeps you coming back is how each match can go in 1,000 different directions. Right. Because it depends on who's playing which operator. Not only who's playing, but who's playing which operator, who they're playing with, how is the other team reacting to what you're doing, and then how you're going to react to my team. And it's like this constant back and forth, and that's what makes the game so cool, is that like every match is different because you're playing different people, and different people attack and defend in completely different ways.
Right.
The other day I was watching Nukem something. He's a guy on Twitch, and he plays a lot of Siege, and he was doing things that I'm like, I've never done that with that guy. Like, I've never played that way, and it made me like, I was like, I should have been doing that, but it just blew my mind how he played in a way that I had never seen anyone use that operator before. So like, it's almost like 2 years in, going into year 3 of DLC and new operators. That game is still evolving. So basically, I played a lot of Siege in the last weekend. Yeah, and we're at the point where we're good. We're all ranked gold and higher, mostly gold, which is right below platinum. We haven't been able to all break into platinum. I feel like we're hitting like a point where the competition every round is brutal, and it's almost like you win and lose by like a thread, man.
Wow. That's good. I mean, that's what you want from a game like that, to be able to have that kind of replay value and have that kind of nuance to the game where 2 years later you're still finding out, you know, different ways to approach things that you never thought about. Like that is what you want from these type of shooters, these type of online shooters. Like when it's just the same thing over and over again, but there's so much nuance that it feels different every time.
Yeah, and outside of that, man, I was trying to think. I'm trying to. So I was asking some friends last night. Look, I feel like outside of the big games, like I love Assassin's Creed Origins, but if anything, playing Origins made me hungry for more single player gameplay. Because if this was any other regular time in the last 3 years, I would be playing Destiny right now.
Right.
You know, grinding out strikes, grinding out raids. But, you know, the Destiny drought has been tough because the Destiny drought made me realize how little there is to play.
Right.
If you're on console, not just Xbox, but just console in general. Like if you made it to this point in the year, like, yeah, Assassin's Creed is a 50-hour game, you know, before you get into the you know, the weeds and everything. Wolfenstein is a, you know, 30, 40-hour game. But outside of that, I mean, Call of Duty, I mean, screw that. You know, it's
South Park.
South Park. Yeah, no, so basically, yeah. So I was asking friends, I was like, all right, what are some gems that I completely missed? What are some gems that you know, so what are some games that have come out and I've completely ignored, mostly because at the time I didn't want to pay $60 for it, or at the time it wasn't my cup of tea, so I wasn't sure about investing money into it. And basically, like, my friends told me, you need to go play Far Cry.
Oh, yeah.
Because I haven't played Far Cry. And I said, okay, well, Far Cry 3 is backward compatible on the Xbox One. And Far Cry 4 came out a couple of years ago. And Far Cry 5 is coming out next year. And people are jumping all over that game because the story looks so interesting.
Yeah, it does.
So I think I'm going to pick up Far Cry 4 because I never played it. And apparently, I mean, I like Ubisoft games in general. Unless your name is Assassin's Creed Unity and or The Division. I mean, no, The Division, it had its appeal. I get it. I get The Division.
It's funny. The Division actually has a really large patch coming tomorrow too.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's like patch 2.8 or something like that, and it's supposed to be adding a bunch of stuff to it as well. So they're not just letting that game die. They're actually still actively adding stuff to it.
If my buddy Matthew's in the chat, he'll probably tell us which patch it is when the chat catches up to the episode, the live
1.8. I was wrong.
1.8. Oh, there we go.
There we go, Matthew. That's what's up.
He caught up to us. Yeah, Matthew is the one who keeps bringing me back to The Division.
God, I wanted that game to be so much more. I thought that was going to be like my bread and butter with Destiny. I thought it was going to be Destiny and Division. It just did not pan out that way for me.
Well, we can become the unofficial podcast of Anthem.
I mean, if they would ever release any info, like they have said nothing.
Yeah. If you want shoulder pads for your what's it called? A freelance? What is the what are the machines called in that game?
They are called freelancers, right?
Freelance. Well, if you want shoulder pads in your freelancer, you gotta pay for the DLC though.
Oh my god,
you gotta get the elite freelancer edition if you want shoulder pads.
I'm
or
so
knee
worried about
pads.
that.
No elite edition, no knee pads for you, sir. No knee pads for you. I hope you brought Vapor Rub because you're gonna need it.
Oh god, I'm so worried about them like destroying that game with microtransactions at this point.
The only redeeming element is that it's BioWare, which I guess at this point doesn't mean much. But I mean, I don't know. Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see.
Man, this was supposed to be the happy episode, man. We're just,
all right. Let's flip the script. Let's get into
we can't help but to like just taste the sewer water, man. It's like
the salt is heavy in here. The salt is heavy.
All right, so let's get into discussion because I don't know. We need to get there at some point.
Yeah.
So our topic is hopes and dreams today, and I'm gonna lay out some general questions for us. And if you're in the chat, feel free to comment. And basically, outside of PUBG, we're done with this year. Like, there's no big December release this year. I mean, Xenoblade Chronicles came out. I mean, if you're into that junk, I mean, Donnie's gonna listen to this and be like, "That game is amazing." I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know. He's actually been having some tweets about where he's like, it was cool to start off, but I'm not really feeling it. He's playing Assassin's Creed now. He left Xenogears. So
yeah. When a Nintendo fanboy like Donnie prefers Origins on the Xbox One X over Xenoblade Chronicles on the Switch, wow, that is biblical, apocalyptical. That's stuff going down right there, man. But anyway, so trying to be optimistic for once. What are your gaming wishes for 2018? Which are the games that you want to announce that haven't been announced? Which games do you want to see an announcement or a trailer or some gameplay for? What kind? And here's I'm willing to, like, I don't know, touch a little bit of the sewer water. What kind of announcement would just absolutely crush your soul?
An announcement that would crush my soul?
I mean, so I'm just laying out a foundation for the discussion. You know, we can go all over. Like, we can just be purely positive. Oh, you know, I want them to announce a fuchsia, rainbow, sparkles, PS4 controller, DualShock 4. Oh, great. Here it comes, you know? I don't know.
I mean,
I want
if you want to talk about,
I want a Pikachu ears headset for the Nintendo Switch. That would make 2018 amazing. You know, give me that. You know,
that would make me hurt somebody. Somebody would lose their life over a Pikachu headset. I know. No.
So like, yeah, let's just kick it off, man. Like, what do you want? What do you want from 2018?
Honestly, I mean, 2018, I would love them to actually address cross-platform play in some way that actually makes it feasible. Like, Sony, stop being dicks. All right, stop it. Let's find a way to make cross-play, you know, viable. If not now, at least for the next generation of consoles. Like, let's have that discussion. Let's open it up, because you have so many people that want to be able to play together, that don't want to have to deal with the restrictions of the consoles. And you have the developers that are like, yeah, let's do this, you know. Yeah. So I would love 2018 for that to be something that actually starts to kick off and gain more momentum than it's already gotten with, you know, crossplay with the Switch for certain titles. So that's one thing that I would love to see discussion happen in 2018.
So which titles are you thinking about when you say cross-platform crossplay? I mean, if they announce tomorrow that PlayStation is jumping on Rocket League, I'm like, all right, great.
Yeah, that's not one that I really care about.
Right. So what do you care about? What kind of title getting, you know, a tri-platform crossplay? What would, or maybe even not even tri, but just dual platform crossplay?
It should be dual platform because nobody cares about the Switch. Anthem. Anthem would be one. I would love to be able to play with you and Mo in Anthem and not have to have an Xbox and you guys not have to have a PS4. Like, Anthem would be awesome. It's a game that we're hype about.
Yeah.
But we're separated by console. So it would be awesome for a game like that to be like, look, we're gonna go ahead and start this cross-platform play thing. So
would you be satisfied with, at the very least, like just PvE content being cross-platform?
Yeah,
even if competitive, like even if like, okay, so to have a shared world shooter or whatever Destiny is, to go into a strike together, we can be cross-platform. But when it goes, awesome. when you want to match make for Crucible or something like that, or whatever competitive PvP you have, it can be cross-platform, because then you have to go into console dynamics, or power, or frame rates, or even just stuff like controllers. I don't know. I guess in this day and age, you can play with whatever controller you really want. I mean, there's so many versions of controllers. You can almost find whatever fits your style the most in any console.
Yeah, for me, that works fine, because I don't play a whole lot of PvP, so that wouldn't bother me in the least. That would work out great. I mean, for me, gaming is a lot more co-op than it is competitive. So I want to play with my friends more so than play against them.
Yeah.
So that would be perfect if we could do just the PvE world type stuff in like Anthem, or like Matt said, Final Fantasy, whatever the hell that is. Was that 14, 15, 14?
14. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. 14.
19? I don't know. I can't read that. It's
Final Fantasy published by EA. Just kidding.
Money Fantasy is what that would be called.
I've been getting a cross-platform title, a big cross-platform, not Minecraft, not Rocket League, getting a AAA. I don't even consider Minecraft AAA, to be honest. I know they're Mojang. I know they're owned by Microsoft. I just don't consider Minecraft to be it's not traditional enough to be a AAA title, the way I see it.
I agree 100%. Even something like Fortnite or PUBG would be great to have cross console.
Yeah. Fortnite would be cool. Did you see that video where basically they caught that for like a couple hours there were PlayStation players playing with Xbox players?
Yep.
Because they messed up the server. I don't know how like mechanically that happens, but apparently like whatever barrier exists between matchmaking and Xbox and PlayStation disappeared. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And suddenly Xbox players were like, you can't have gamer tags like that on Xbox. That has to be a PlayStation gamer tag or name or username. And suddenly it was like, oh, snap. And Fortnite was like, crap. And that was hilarious because it showed us
it's possible.
Don't get me wrong. Once again, I'm not a computer engineer or a computer scientist, but it just showed us for a brief second. It was like, the technology is there to bridge the gap. It's just purely, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of reasons why Sony and maybe even Microsoft would be against it, but it's purely like it's just business reasons, right? Which are real reasons. Don't get me wrong, we're not like an anarchist communist podcast. It's right. Obviously I want businesses to succeed and to be responsible with their practices. But the technology is not a technology problem. Let's say that. It's about consoles wanting to preserve their markets, and wanting to when you think about it, the day that a console that you have cross-platform play is the day that the only reason why you wouldn't own the other console is if it was, I don't know, if it was significantly better than what you already have.
Right.
Which I think, if anything, that's like a real console war right there. Because then you're battling purely on specs and not on, I don't know, on turf or community.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So Anthem getting crossplay announcement, that would be huge.
Yep.
That would be a win for just gamers in general. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's a little bit naive. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too positive. If you're on the chat, feel free to disagree with that.
Yeah, I think that would definitely be a win for gamers everywhere, because it would just open the door for a lot more cross-platform games. And I think that's something that, most gaming communities have been crying out for. Like, I want to play with my friends. I have friends here. I have friends there. I'd like to play with them all.
Yeah.
So that is a pipe dream of 2018.
Hey, this episode is all about pipe dreams, man. Because as soon as 2018 gets here, we're gonna get the release delays, and more studios are gonna close, and more games are gonna get canceled, and Phil Spencer's gonna get fired, and and Roger Goodell is gonna be brought in as head of Xbox, and then we're all screwed. We all lose if that happens.
I mean,
everyone loses.
I'm not gonna lose. I'm on the Sony side. You might lose.
I don't know, man. Man, he's gonna sell. He's gonna make Halo like a free-to-play game on mobile phones, and I'm gonna cry
with loot boxes.
Oh god,
lots of loot boxes.
Oh man. And like Matthew, like on the chat, Xbox PC is definitely closer to reality when it comes to cross-platform. I wouldn't be surprised if, I think it's honestly realistic to think that Anthem could be Xbox PC crossplay.
Yeah.
Especially if they're utilizing the Xbox One X to its full capacity. And also if it's if we're just sticking to, co-op, share world content, PvE, not PvP, right? Because I don't want to go against a mouse and keyboard on competitive. I'm just gonna get crushed time and time again. So I think it would for me, I know I know you're on PlayStation, but it would be a win on my end just to see PC Xbox crossplay on a game like Anthem.
I think it would be great too, because then I could build a PC and play with you guys also.
There you go. And
it would really anyway.
And it would really put pressure on PlayStation to be like, look, man, like PC gamers and Xbox gamers are playing together.
Absolutely.
It's just Sony Island people being left behind.
Join the empire.
Enjoy that cabin fever over there. Okay, so let me drop an announcement or something that would make 2018 awesome. I would love to hear about some IPs that I think have been dormant for a while. The moment I get any notice of a Splinter Cell by Ubisoft, I will be all over that announcement.
That would be awesome. Resurrect Sam Fish. Let's stop playing. Bring him back. Let's go. It's time. We have been without a Splinter Cell game long enough to where he needs to come back. Ubisoft is riding high. They've had a lot of good releases. They need to go ahead and take that good favor and direct it into a Splinter Cell game and bring it up to fruition for all of us to enjoy.
And I know that's like a small. Yours was huge, right? Cross-platform play. Mine's just like, dude, just give me Sam Fisher. I know that's small, but
it's small, but it's not, because that's a game that it's a beloved franchise and we just haven't heard or seen anything from in a long time. So that would be huge, especially if there's any kind of, unfortunately, if there's any kind of like exclusivity to either console. That would make it huge. It would make it happy for some, pissed off for some other ones, depending on what the exclusivity is. But that's just the world we live in.
At this point, as an Xbox gamer, exclusivity to me is purely selfish, right? Like I know what it means to be on the opposite side of that equation. Like I know what it feels like to not have access to these great titles. So for me to wish that on other people is just kind of fucked up. Like, it's like, Devin, I don't want you to have access to Splinter Cell. That's just, I don't know. And so the only reason why I would want that is purely selfish, just to be like, I want people to play on Xbox with me. I want people to buy Xboxes so they are in my network. But I don't know. So it's just.
Yeah, I was pissed when y'all had Tomb Raider for a year. I was so upset about that. I was like, I have to wait a year to play this. Yeah. But whatever, I'm going to wait a year because I'm not buying an Xbox to play Tomb Raider. I'm going to wait, and I played it and I loved it, and it's great.
Not even true IP exclusive. It just feels bad when you have like DLC exclusivity, like the 1 year Destiny gap. Man. That was tough. And after don't get me wrong, like if you listen to IGN's Sean Finnegan, he'll never let that go. He brings that up like every episode of like Fire Team Chat. He never lets that go. Whether it's that or World of Warcraft, he brings you can play bingo with with how the stuff that comes up in that podcast and that show. But I feel like at the end of the day is like I got over the fact that there was DLC exclusivity, because I'm like, whatever, like I have to play the game that's in front of me, even if in some way, shape, or form is not the same game that they're playing on that console, because the weapons are different and access to items is different, and even access to raids and stuff like that is different. So you have to play the game that you have access to. Another announcement that would make 2018 awesome would be Nintendo make me really, really, really excited for my brand new Switch.
Hell, make me want one.
Yeah, and I'm saying, don't get me wrong, like I love the Switch. I'm pretty sure I want to find a way. So Xbox makes it really easy to find out how many hours you spent on a game. I haven't. I'm sure there must be a way for Nintendo to tell me you spent this many hours playing this game. I want to find out how many hours my wife has been playing Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle, because that's getting close to like 50 or 60 hours in like 2 weeks. She was stuck on like World 3, and then she realized my wife became a gamer when she went on the internet to find out how to beat this level.
Wow.
She was some guy saying, where is this like item that I need to move on to the next level? Awesome. And she got so frustrated looking for it. She's like, you know what? I'm just going to go read some YouTube guide on it. And that made me realize I've done that so many times.
Yep. You are not a gamer until you're like, okay, this is pissing me off. Someone help me, please.
Yeah, and then she realized, and now she's moved on to the next level, and now she's back into it full steam ahead, because she finally got past this stop that she came across. But no, so I'm excited for the Switch. I'm glad we got it. I'm picking up Mario Kart 8 and Pokken Tournament in December for Christmas. I really want a Super Smash Brothers announcement.
I'm amazed they haven't had one yet. I'm shocked that there wasn't a Smash, but I guess they probably wanted to put all the focus on like Mario for this holiday. Maybe they'll be smart and announce a Smash for like, coming in spring or something. That would be probably really good.
So Nintendo winning 2018 for me means Super Smash announcement. Maybe not in January, obviously, because they're coming in at it a little bit late. But Dragon Ball FighterZ coming to the Switch, because that would show me, hey, like you are. So I feel like right now the Switch is picking up releases that are late.
Yeah,
like Skyrim is coming like a year behind the other Skyrim for the PS4 and Xbox One. FIFA 18. I mean, obviously the Switch came out later, but it's almost like they're new releases that are not first party. Are not new releases. Excuse me. My throat got really dry for a second.
No bueno. Yeah, like you're saying, the new release is coming like in a staggered later launch. I mean, it shows that, the developers are actually actively working on bringing games to the Switch, which is always positive because it shows that there's interest. It shows that, okay, we're going to keep working with this technology. We're going to bring some of these older games to the Switch while we're perfecting our ability to make games for the Switch. So hopefully that leads into them getting, IPs like day and date with, the other two consoles. So it does show that there's confidence in the Switch, which is a really, really good thing, because the Wii U had zero confidence. Right. So it's a huge turnaround for Nintendo to have even just these old games ported and games constantly coming to the system is a really, really positive thing.
So I need Super Smash announced as like a major first party publication. I need Dragon Ball FighterZ and a couple other, just other IPs that are big AAA IPs on the other consoles to be like, hey, like we are committing to this console. And I want that Pokemon game that Donnie and I keep talking about. That open world Nintendo Switch Pokemon RPG that people keep rumoring about. I need that game because I will spend the rest of my life playing that game.
Oh, you guys in the Pokemon.
That will be my destiny killer right there.
Pocket Monsters, man. I've never been able to get into them. I actively have been hating on them since their existence.
So you were never into Pokemon?
Never. I was when they came out, I was like at that age, so I'm looking at like, what is this this little kid stuff. No, I'm not playing that. I was in high school.
Okay, really?
So yeah, I was in high school when they came out. So I'm like, what is this
Wow.
crap? Nah, I'm not touching that. So I've never ever had any interest in getting into Pokemon. Like it just doesn't appeal to me in any way.
All right, man. All right, well, good. Let's throw it back to you. What is a good 20? What does a great 2018 look like?
So a selfish thing is, you guys have that beautiful, wonderful Xbox Elite controller. It is godly. Yeah. I want them to come out with the freaking official like PS4 Elite controller. Like I don't want the one made by Razer. I don't want a third-party company to make it. I want one made by Sony. I want the DualShock with some freaking paddles and some weights. Like, give me an official Elite controller. Like so that's a very selfish want. But after like holding that Elite controller and kind of playing with it, I'm like, that is a badass controller, man.
So I was watching a video in which they go to the factory or the lab or wherever they originally came up with the Elite, and where they test them. Mm-hmm. They put them, they do like 100,000 button smashes, to make sure that they're durable, right?
Right.
And they were saying one thing that we were worried with the Elite was that it was really heavy. Mm-hmm. But then they realized that people actually like the heaviness, the mm-hmm. weight of it.
Yep.
They were trying to make it as light as possible because they thought the fact that it was heavy, it was gonna keep people from buying it. And people were like, "No, I love the fact that it feels like a freaking like it feels like a gun. It feels like you're holding like a rifle. Like when I'm playing with it, it feels like I'm actually like working something, and I'm like I hold like a regular controller. Now this is the Master Chief controller. If you're in the podcast, I'm sorry you can't see, but this feels really light,
right?
And I hold my Elite, and it feels like I can like break someone's face with it, and like I mean that's not what I'm doing with it, but I could if I wanted to.
It feels like quality.
That's not. I mean, I don't think that's a selfish request. I think that's just straight up, like customer service and just kind of fan service. And
yeah.
I don't know. I'm surprised the PS4 doesn't have a deluxe premium controller.
I am too. I'm shocked by that
because Nintendo has released a Pro controller for for the last 3 systems. And honestly, like every time I'm getting one for Christmas. Every time I hold a Switch Pro controller, that thing feels really good. It competes with the Elite controller for me. The Switch Pro controller feels amazing.
Nice.
I don't know why I like it so much, but it just feels, the grip is just, it feels legit. I don't know. It feels like it has substance.
Nice.
My wife loves the Joy-Cons on the Switch, the 2 things. I don't. I'm like, even when I put them together, I'm like, this feels like I'm praying to a tablet. I don't know. And I'm waiting for my Pro around Christmas because I want to play with the Pro. I'll be more excited about the Switch when I can play with the Pro. Oh, by the way, since you mentioned how divine the Elite controller is, I found a note in the back that says, "You're welcome," and it says Jesus. So I'm just kidding now.
See, here you go.
It was sent by God Himself, the Elite controller. It is a beautiful. If you're an Xbox gamer and you're listening to us, I know that the price tag of $150 is tough, especially for a controller. I know that $150 is like a lot of money to justify. I mean, look, man, if you can't afford it, don't get it. Like, I mean, it's a premium device, accessory. It's like getting a 1X. If you can't afford it, don't get a 1X. Then don't be irresponsible. Like, I don't have a 1X. I can't afford one right now. But at the time, I think like 2 years ago when I picked up my Elite controller, it was like, it was at the right price, and I got an odd deal on it, and I love it. And if it's something that you can afford, it's definitely like, I don't regret it. It's the only controller that I use.
Yeah.
I traded in my other controllers at GameStop because I was like, they're just collecting dust. Like I don't use any other. I have this one mostly because it's the Master Chief controller and because it looks pretty. And in case, if for some crazy reason something happens to the Elite one, I have a backup. But I don't really use anything else.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't. After holding that and like playing with it a little bit, I same way I would never play with another controller again. That controller is fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's why I want one.
All right. So another great announcement for 2018 I mean, at least for me, and this once again, I'm niche picking because I'm a very simple guy. I don't need crossplay, cross-platform cosplay. There is this existential anxiety in the Halo community that Halo is a dying IP. Ooh. You go to forums, you go to YouTube videos, and the Halo community is like, dude, like, is this it? Like, are we done? Like, are we the next Mass Effect?
Damn.
There's this like sense of pessimism that 343 just can't produce a 10 out of 10 Halo game. They're either gonna mess up the story. In Halo 4, they messed up the PvP. I mean, not in my opinion, but in the opinion of a lot of people, they messed up the PvP. And in Halo 5, they messed up the story. It's like they can't get it all together. And I just feel like the best way to revitalize Halo is to make it a PC game. That doesn't mean drop the Xbox. It just means get over yourself and sell games by making this the PC game that it was meant to be, like, originally. There's push for that. Like the Halo 5 Forge mode is available on PC. It's the mode that lets you build maps. You can do that on a PC, and then you can make that map available on console. So you can play, and actually you can play custom matches of Halo 5 on a PC with other PC players. But the full game hasn't been made available on PC. So for me, that's a sign that Halo 6 will be a PC launch.
Right, that makes a lot of good sense.
Maybe not day one, even though I don't know why you wouldn't make it day one. Like, why? I mean, why stop trying to protect the Xbox console? Console players are gonna be console players.
Yep.
But there's a whole market of PC players out there. There's a lot of people that didn't play Destiny until it came on PC.
Yeah.
And just stop being afraid of and just release it on PC day one with the Xbox version, and maybe it will inject some new blood into a franchise that honestly needs it. That's just straight up like, I'm getting emotional about that, man. I'm just like, I mean, I have like, I was counting how many Master Chief versions of Master Chief there's in my house. A lot. There's cartoon Master Chief. There's plushie Master Chief. There's statue Master Chief. Like, there's like all these Master Chiefs all over my living room in our home.
Decorating with Master Chief.
Yeah, man. And it's just like, I don't know. It's one of those IPs that I want to see it succeed because I think it's a great IP. But don't get me wrong, I haven't played a Halo 5 match in like a couple months because they're putting all their effort into developing Halo 6 and into Halo Wars 2. So the DLC content for Halo 5, even though it had like 1.5 solid years of DLC, it kind of like come to a stop. So that's pretty selfish, but I think it would be pretty big. I think it would be really big news if Halo 5 is a day one PC title. Especially given the history of that IP being a console exclusive, not just an Xbox exclusive, but also a console exclusive.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So let's taste the darkness a little bit. And not the Destiny darkness, because apparently that doesn't exist anymore.
And the rest just let that out, bastard.
At some point, we forgot that the Traveler needed to be awakened at some point, and that just became, at some point that storyline just went out the window.
Yeah.
What would be a bad announcement for 2018? What would be like, nah, see, yeah, you guys are not getting it. It's like, what would be like a oof, like that is not good, guys. That's just not the way to go. I have a couple if you need time to think about that.
Final Fantasy VII Remake getting delayed.
Oh, God.
That would be like, look, just stop it. We don't need to even bring that out anymore. Let's just cancel that. Like, if they don't produce something tangible for Final Fantasy VII Remake, let's just stop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's forget we even said anything, apologize, and put that shit to bed. Because I have been waiting for a Final Fantasy VII Remake since PS2.
Yeah.
When they had that tech trailer, I was like, oh my God. And It's 2017 and it was announced and forgot about pretty much right off the bat. So if they don't deliver something then let's just forget it even exists. Let's put it to bed.
Somewhere along those lines, if I hear another Microsoft Studio closing,
ooh,
I'm just gonna be like, I don't know, man. I feel like, once again, I have no access to the behind the scenes decision making, right? Like, I'm not pretending to be all knowing on these matters. But I feel like the closure of Lionhead, the cancellation of Fable, even if Fable Legends was going to be a garbage game, the fact that it got straight up canceled without any other Fable announced to replace it, the shutdown of Scalebound, the delays on Crackdown 3, I'm just like, man, I hope we've seen the lowest of the low for now. There'll be lows to come, but I hope we've seen the lowest of the low for now, and that we have a smooth recovery year for Xbox. You know, with the leadership of Phil Spencer, with the power of the One X. You know, a revitalization of original IPs and first party IPs. But if I hear of one more studio getting not just Microsoft, but just in general, studios getting shut down,
right?
I feel like there's been a lot of that. Obviously businesses shut down. I get it. You know, business is business. But I feel like 2017 had a lot of studios closing down.
Yep, absolutely.
And it was just tough because when a studio dies, a lot of their IP basically dies, or a lot of their ideas, or a lot of the people have been working on that IP for a while dies. And it's just like, you don't know where they're going to end up. You don't know if any other studio is going to pick it up. Like, we don't know right now if Fable's going to go anywhere, if for the Fable diehards out there. I don't know. I think every time I hear of a studio closure, just from a human perspective, like people getting fired, it's already sad. Yeah. But beyond the human perspective, just from a fanboy, it's just tough to hear about games just getting really far into development getting cut off. It's like nope. People have been working on this for 3 years, but never mind. It's like, oh man, like,
sucks.
We could have done that like 2 years ago, right? Like, why are we doing that now?
Yeah, wasting that time in development, get these people going so far just to cut them off. It's and the live button stayed, so we're good.
Oh, that's weird. All right, no, sorry. Like, did I disappear? That was weird. I don't know what happened there.
You did for a second, but we're still live. So
okay, we're still live. Never mind. It's EA. EA is trying to take us down. EA is trying to hack us, and they're trying to keep us from spreading the message of hope and freedom. And I don't know, man. Someone's trying to, maybe it's Donnie. Donnie's like, no, man, we're done. I'm just kidding. I love you, Donnie. Yeah. Anyway, one other announcement that would really kind of bum me out would be, like, I don't know. Like, I was thinking today, if Destiny 3 gets announced.
Oh God, that
I know it won't. Here's the thing, I'm pretty confident that it won't, but at this point, it's like, okay, Destiny 2 is what it is. It's not perfect, but you can build on it. Yeah. You know, you can fix things, you can balance things, you can start building up a library again of strikes and raids and content. Like, okay, the platform isn't awesome, but we can the destination can be great.
Right.
I don't know. This game doesn't need to be a sequel out of many.
Yeah, it just needs to have, more DLCs. It needs to not do the whole D2 thing. Like, but I also worry about, new consoles being announced. Like, I really think that there's a strong chance of us seeing at least a PS5 in 2019. So there's a strong possibility that it'll get announced or leaked like next year, and then like fully revealed at like E3 2019, and then come out like the fall of 2019. So there's a strong possibility of that, and that'll frustrate me because I feel like I'm not ready for this console generation to end just yet.
Yeah,
but I could see that coming, and it would kind of hurt my soul a little bit because it's like, damn, we're already coming to the end. I'm not ready for that yet.
For me, that was the danger. Well, I mean, obviously you have the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X. And there's definitely a power gap there between the two consoles.
Yeah.
And here's me. I mean, I'm hoping that difference is not big enough for Sony to freak out and be like, oh, we need to release something new. Because then Xbox will be like, well, we need to release something new.
Right.
And then instead of having these installments and upgrades, every a pretty good number of years apart, we're going to have this leapfrogging, right?
Yeah.
And the leapfrogging, I feel like it's bad for the industry.
I agree.
Because then you have games that need to be, how do you develop games like that?
It becomes a PC world.
Right. Like you have to develop a game for this one, but for that one, but then you have to consider you have to develop one for that one ahead too. And I feel like that's just a bad market for developers. Once again, wherever you stand in the console war, Nintendo, Xbox, PS4, whatever, you want good competition between all the machines.
Yep.
At the very least, between two of them. I mean, I love it when Nintendo. I love the fact that the Switch is a good machine because it's like good. Now there's like I feel like there's it's like a healthier market because now Nintendo is finally a competitor again. You want that because I feel like when the big corporations want you, the gamer, when they want your heart and your mind and they want you to play on their system, that's when we win.
Yep.
That's when we win. When they don't take us for granted as customers, as consumers, and they take the gaming community seriously. That's when we win. And I feel like the healthier the competition, the better it will be for consoles.
Yep. 100%.
So I think I think another console announcement would be tough. I think I also don't think it would be welcomed very well by just the gaming media. I think the PS4 Pro was okay, cool. The Xbox One X was like, okay, well, you have the PS4 Pro. So I feel like another one would be like, okay.
Yeah, like, didn't we just do this? Like we just did this, right? It would be really interesting. I mean, I know that there's probably shareholders and stuff that are like, okay, we need something new. We need to make that money or whatnot. But, for the industry as a whole, I think it would just be a bad look, especially because the Xbox One X just dropped. The PS4 Pro just came out last year. And now we're already talking new console cycle. Like, it just feels like this one has way too much life left in it still to already be thinking, when's the next one coming? And I mean, there's been talk about that since last year. Like, when's the next one coming? I'm just like, dang, can we live? Can we enjoy this console cycle just a little bit?
Don't get me wrong. I love progress and I love technology. I don't think we need a new console till 2020.
I feel the same exact way.
I mean, fine, give me upgrades to my Xbox One or One X. Like allow me to upgrade it somehow. Fine, create things that I can switch out in it. I don't know. Maybe I can mail it in and you guys can upgrade it. I don't know, something like that. But we don't need a brand new engine, etc.
Yeah.
Till like for the next 3 years at least.
At least.
Yeah. Cool. So so I don't want to spend too much time. This was kind of like a free for all. Any final thoughts on 2018? Anything that looks good on the horizon or anything that looks I don't know.
2018 for me looks great just because there's so many exclusives coming out for PS4. So for me as a PS4 gamer, I mean, there's God of War, there's Days Gone, there's Last of Us 2 possibly hitting, the Spider-Man game.
Yeah, that looks good.
And then like third party, you've got like Red Dead Redemption 2 coming out, more Destiny stuff, which is always good for me. And I'm sure there's going to be a slew of other announcements of games coming like third party wise. So I think 2018 is going to just, take what this year did and kind of add to it. I think it's still going to be a really good year. It looks a bit slim right now. As far as third party,
it feels a little bit slim, right? Like it
does, but I think it's because the developers are finally realizing let's stop announcing these games way before they're ready. And let's, so we can temper expectations and be like, okay, this is in development. It's coming by the end of this year. It's coming in 6 months. I think when Bethesda did that, the Fallout 4 announcement, and then it was coming in like 4 months, I think people really, really love that idea. And now developers are like, we can play these cards a little closer to our chest and not have to, shout from the rafters that we're making this game. We can say it's coming and then it's here. So I think that's part of the reason why 2018 looked slim in that area, because of the fact that you have some devs that are like, okay, we can just hold on to our guns. We don't have to, announce super early. We can wait a bit, then build up the hype and still have the hype 4 months later when it actually comes out. Not, lose it after a year, after 2 years, and then the game drops. So
yeah, I like what you're saying, man. I like the idea that, okay, let's stop riding the hype train for too long. I think that's healthy. That's good. I need to be real with Xbox Empire Nation. 2018 looks it could be better. Like I mean, Crackdown 3. I mean, I don't know what the hell that's going. I mean, like, right. I hope that's a good game. Like, at this point, it's like, man, I don't even know, bro. Like, I love Xbox. I love playing on Xbox. I love my machine. I love my community. I love my accessories. But it's almost like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I could play Rainbow Six Siege. I will be playing Rainbow Six Siege for all of next year because they just announced year 3. By the way, we're recording Monday night, dropping Tuesday on the same day as Curse of Osiris. That did not happen on purpose. Right. They know they're going to compete for PvP community people. But I'll be honest, like, I mean, 2018 could look better. Just, I mean, not only from a first party perspective, but also just in general from, like, from third party developers. But I hope you're right. I think it's not only developers, but also just Microsoft playing their cards a little bit closer to their chest and saying, man, maybe we put ourselves in a bad spot with a lot of games that weren't ready to be announced.
Right.
And maybe we need to, hold back. And I think, obviously, we think from the perspective of like PlayStation and Xbox, but these are bigger corporations, right? Sony and Microsoft are corporate empires. I mean, they extend across the world. I mean, Xbox is a small part, not a small part, but it's a part of a massive Microsoft empire that, I mean, think about Microsoft Office, like,
exactly.
Like there was a time when Encarta was a bigger product than the Xbox.
Man.
Phil Spencer began working on Encarta, and then he moved to Excel, and then he ended up at Xbox. So within the Microsoft, the ladder of Microsoft. But so these are bigger corporations, and like they are making moves, right? Like Sony develops, they have movies, and they also develop, home theaters and TV
cameras and TVs.
Yeah, and Microsoft is pushing hardware, and they're pushing tablets, and they're pushing phones, and they're pushing straight up a massive library of digital content and just packages that they sell to corporations. So these are big corporations. So it's so PlayStation and Xbox are significant parts of those corporations, but we should that's not all that they do. Right. And something really, at least something to be optimistic. The new CEO at Microsoft, Satya Nadella, I'm reading his book right now. It's called Hit Refresh. It's a really, if you're interested a lot at all in corporate culture and how to set up how to restart a corporate culture from scratch, his book is awesome because it's a very easy to read book on how, like, hey, how he got to Microsoft and he didn't like a lot of the culture there. So a lot of what he's been doing is how do we just restart the culture here and we create a healthier company for people to be part of and to work in, and therefore our products to be better because we're a better place to work at and stuff like that. So I like what I'm hearing from him, and hopefully if that kind of mentality just kind of flows down the river and hits like Xbox, which I think Phil Spencer already has a lot of those same ideas there. Hopefully we'll see some a better year than expected from Microsoft and Xbox, and hopefully much better years to come. Great. Well, on that note, we don't have any mail this week because I was irresponsible and I didn't ask people further. But if you have any input on like, hey, like this would make 2018 amazing, well, feel free to send that. We'll talk about it next time. If you send it to us between now and then, we'll hit up this topic briefly again. yeah, so just let us know what would make 2018 amazing. Feel free to hit us on Twitter at Unrated Podcast, or what's your Twitter handle, man? Your handle?
Hit me at Dev A Tyus.
Mm-hmm. There we go. Either of us or both of us, let us know what would make 2018 amazing. What are anything that people should be? You want to plug anything in, man?
You know what? I'm probably gonna stream some Curse of Osiris late tomorrow night on the PSVG YouTube.
Nice.
Other than that, just hit me up on Twitter. Come talk shop.
Sounds good, man. On that same note, I think we should all schedule at PSVG when we're streaming, because I'm hoping to stream tomorrow the new DLC drop of Rainbow Six, because they're dropping new operators tomorrow.
Nice.
So I love the new operators. There's this Polish girl who like literally has like a massive grenade launcher, and what I like about Rainbow Six Siege is that it's trying to push the edge, but not be like unrealistic with the weapons. You know, like this weapon could exist. You know, and she's like, anyway. So I'm very excited for the new operators, man. I'm waiting for that DLC drop later today, because it's already past midnight. And I'm putting together some highlights. I'm deciding that every few weeks I'm gonna put together my best Rainbow Six Siege kills.
Nice.
And I'm gonna put like some crazy Samuel Jackson SWAT song as the background. And I'm just gonna, like, I think I published one earlier this week that was the SWAT song, like da na 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 na. It's basically the Samuel Jackson song. I think that's what it's called. And it's basically kill after kill in Rainbow Six Siege. Nice. So I'm gonna keep doing that. So feel free to look for that either in the PSVG YouTube channel or the Unrated YouTube channel, which is kind of lonely over there, but stuff shows up there sometimes. So
have some content on that.
There we go. All right. On that note, thank you everyone for tuning in. This was a very, spontaneous episode, but mostly because we just wanted to, just kind of brainstorm about what a good 2018 looks like. Follow us on Twitter, as we said already, and feel free to just hit us up on PSVG. And also, if you want to just join I just thought about this. If you want to join the PSVG just community, join us on Discord.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The PSVG Discord is open to everyone. So if you want to just listen to everyone else talk about game, if you want to join a really good gaming community that just talks about everything, PC, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, if you can withstand Donnie's hype, Nintendo hype, then you can be part of the PSVG community. So yeah, join us up on Discord. I think the link should be on the PSVG website or something like that.
Yep, it's on the website, and it's tweeted out a few times a day from the PSVG Twitter handle. So
that's right. On that note, we are the internet's strongest podcast. We are Unrated. Thank you for watching and or listening. Have a great one.